Welcome to Madame Raven's. This way to the library. She's been expecting you.
A very Merry Christmas to you all on this lovely Christmas Eve. I hope you're all enjoying and have some wonderful things planned. Today I'm going to read you a story by Ronnie 14 called An Early Christmas Present. We didn't have time to open presents on Christmas Day, not even on Christmas Eve. Sarah Roman and her husband Art were too busy during the holidays. And we didn't even have kids. But we were oppressing ourselves. All the decorations and lights had to be displayed, all presents wrapped, a real Christmas tree carried inside. 'Tis the season to be stressed. But hey, we enjoyed it. Art and I doing our best to bring some Yuletide atmosphere to sunny Panama City Beach, Florida. I was younger than him, but it wasn't noticeable. Art still had smooth, pale skin, perfect white teeth, his eyes radiant and full of life, his black hair well groomed. He had the face of a matinee idol past his prime, on everything but looks. And honestly, Art still had a hot figure. His passion extended into everything, whether it be sports or poetry. Art was a true Renaissance man, and I did my best to be a Renaissance woman. He always told me he was attracted to my exotic allure, but even as a Latina with personality to spare, I was self-conscious at first. I mean, here was this most unusual, attractive man wanting me over all the thoughts and party animals this beach had to offer. The type of girls who had all the sexier bodies than my average untoned physique, most of whom taller than my 5'3" frame, their bleach blonde or stylized haircuts flashier than my curly brown locks, their skin flawless and without blemishes. But after those first few dates, I got over that crap. Especially the first time Art and I made love. The sex sold me. The sex showed how much he truly loved me. Our love was explosive, and Art convinced me it'd be eternal. Together we were set for another great Christmas. But amidst the shopping sprees and home-cooked dinners, we had to finalize our travel plans. Always a complicated process. Art's family lived overseas, and they demanded we be there this Christmas. The only problem was Art hated flying. He was old school, like an eloquent bohemian. My husband loved books instead of TV, wine over beer. For Christmas, he preferred candles and classical music over my more conventional commercial style. And of course, Art had us travel by ship rather than plane. So we had to leave a week before Christmas, a 5-day cruise just to get to my in-laws. Oh well, at least the liners were cheap in the winter. I just hated wasting those precious December days, wasting the holiday hype through sleep and booze. But as long as I had Art, I'd be fine, especially since we'd be getting there by Christmas Eve. Due to schedule change, Art insisted we open presents tonight, our last night here in Panama City before we set sail. I sure hated bucking tradition. And what was the point of Christmas Eve and day without the chance to open any damn presents? But I gave in. The temptation to open gifts early, too much to pass up. I waited for 9 o'clock to roll around, more eager than an overexcited little kid. even dressed for the occasion in my gingerbread man pajamas. Like a reclusive Scrooge, Art had been dodging me the whole day. Totally Sketch City. I hadn't even gotten a kiss. Instead of helping me bake cookies, Art stayed holed up in our bedroom, alone with Mozart and a book of ghost stories. In the kitchen, I took another bite off a gooey cookie, the red frosting so fresh and smooth. I looked towards the living room. The TV was off. Our Christmas tree stood tall and alive with abundance of lights. The stocking stuffed with sweets. A Rudolph figurine smiled back at me. There was silence except the classical music creeping in. Art's many candles turned the living room into a Christmas crypt. But boy, was there a lot of presents. Half from me, half from Art. Our shared love captured by many wrapped gifts surrounding the tree. But still there was no Art. He'd been in that damn room all day avoiding me. Now my insecurities started to return, and this close to Christmas too. Getting antsy, I checked my phone. 8:55. New Year's was weeks away, but here I was already committing to a countdown. I entered the living room. My gaze drifted over to the windows, to our neighbors' houses. Their glowing Santas and snowmen sliced through the cold, dark night. Smiling, I turned, and then I saw it. A huge box tucked away in the corner, behind the tree, behind Rudolph. Blood-red wrapping paper swallowed up the present. A green bow placed on the top for good measure. Unease sunk in. I hadn't seen this earlier, and there was no way I'd missed the damn thing either. This huge present, one I hadn't seen nor heard Art deliver. I looked off towards the hallway, towards the bedroom's closed door. "Art," I yelled, "what is this?" Mozart was all I got back. The door stayed shut. "Art," I shouted. Then Jean Autry's soothing voice grabbed me. "Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane." I startled. I silenced my phone alarm, the reminder 9 o'clock. I stole another annoying glance back at the bedroom. "Whatever," I muttered. Curiosity joined my rising excitement. At this hour, the mysterious present was now fair game. With swift steps, I marched up to the box, stared down at its gift sticker and the smiling reindeer. "To Sarah, love, Art," read my husband's cursive handwriting. I didn't spend time studying the present or playing that prolonged, agonizing guessing game. Channeling my inner child on Christmas morning, I ripped through the paper in milliseconds. No F's given about how nice Art wrapped it, or how much time he took to make it pretty. None of that mattered now. Like a drug addict, I had to get to the gift. Had to see what lied beneath the paper. A smooth wooden surface began to appear. Pristine, heavy wood, all of it surrounded by a perfect shade of brown bronze. My adrenaline pumping, I tore through the rest of the disguise. The scattered red paper formed a crimson scene, the fallen bow a severed limb. Trembling, I got to the final few strands. Here I was, sweating in the cold, my mind trying to piece together Art's puzzle. Coffee table? Bookshelf? What the hell was it? Victorious, I yanked off the last pieces. The excitement within me reached its peak. Then I saw the oblong object in full. The casket. A morbid beauty. Its bronze impenetrable, Its stainless steel handles displayed proud wolf engravings. The entire coffin more fitting for an art gallery instead of the ground. A shrine under the candlelight. I stood there stunned. Even after the reveal, I stayed in a state of euphoria. Christmas! Erupted a pretty chorus behind me. The snow's coming down, sang the one and only Darlene Love. Turning, I came face to face with Art. His smile of fangs so sexy. Thick blood stains were still scattered across his Santa Claus pajamas. The gore left over from our messy meal yesterday. Art's red eyes grew brighter, his pajamas begging me to tear them off faster than wrapping paper. The gift had me so excited, I hadn't even heard Mozart stop playing. Hadn't heard Art glide into the living room, or heard him put on Darlene Love's Christmas, Baby Please Come Home, or put Dish Network's Yule Log channel on the flat screen. Now that my baby was here, I felt even more elated. Felt my eyes change color. Felt the fangs grow longer. My heart beat louder and louder. All the intense hunger stirred up inside of me. You like it? Art asked in his deep baritone. Smoldered by his stare, I nodded. It's perfect, babe. Art walked up to the casket. I got it custom made for the trip. In a confident pull, he opened its lid. It'll fit both of us, Sarah. Sunlight can't get through it all. And he was right. The inside was spacious and comfortable. An interior filled with silk padding. Room for two in this luxury hotel of caskets. Oh, wow, I said, as I stopped next to him, this close to the coffin, and Art further fueled my carnal cravings. Seductive, Art leaned in closer. It's a long way to Romania, Sarah. I wrapped my arms around his neck. I can't wait to pass the time. We stared into one another's eyes, the body heat keeping us warm. The candles enhanced the intimacy. Darlene Love's Christmas, a perfect soundtrack. Now I was with my favorite present of all, Art. Like teenage lovers, we went in for a sloppy, wild kiss. Our hands ran all over each other. This was the most joy I'd felt since that night we first made love. The moment Art made me immortal. Even more exhilarating than the first time we drank blood together, or the first time we consumed human flesh. I put a finger to Art's lips, stopping him. Let's try it out now. Another Christmas gift? Art joked. A lust ran through me, and for once, not a bloodlust either. Exactly, I replied, showing off my strength. I pulled Art closer towards the coffin. Past the Christmas tree we went. Hand in hand, we descended into the casket, our beautiful bodies illuminated by the candle's warm glow. Then my greatest Christmas gift lasted well into the night. So quoth this raven. Well, that was a romantic Christmas story for you, my dears. And all in the horror genre. My thanks to Ronnie, who allowed me to read this. And thanks to you for coming to join me on this cold Christmas Eve night. I hope you all get everything you've ever wanted. And special thanks to my Patreon supporters, Ermin, Darren and Jennifer, Laura, Mutant Artificial Intelligence, Tabby Cat, and of course Charlotte Emerson. Merry Christmas. If you like this, please hit the little button to let me know. If you didn't, hit the little button to let me know. leave a comment. I'm always glad to talk with you, my darlings. I'm open to suggestions and criticisms, critiques. If you have not subscribed, please do so and ring the little bell so you know when to come up and see me. And I will talk to you next time, my darlings. Farewell.